Hey, it's Jose here, and I just wanted to let you know that if you have a message to share, I want to tell you about Anchor. It is free and it is an easy way to create a podcast for you to share that message. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. There are certain creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And most importantly, you can get your message out to the world and impact the lives that you were created to impact. Download Anchor right now. Hi, this is Jose, and this is the Jose Vargas Show. This podcast is for leaders who want to be equipped and empowered to become leaders worth following, both in their organization and in their homes. My mission is to help you create breakthroughs in your personal and professional life so that you can grow and live your life with excellence. Welcome everyone to the Jose Vargas Show. I'm super excited that you decided to join me on this special episode of the Jose Vargas Show, Father's Day episode. And the reason I wanted to record this episode is because I think now more than ever, it is critical for me to speak on this subject. I'm a father. This is the first Father's Day for me that I have two children, two daughters, two beautiful girls, and I'm super excited. And it is a lot of work. It is challenging the role of a father. And that's another podcast episode that I would love to do. The role of a father is really, a big load, right? It's a big responsibility. But I want you to pay close attention to this episode because if you're a father, or if you want to be a father, or even if you don't want to be a father, I want you to pay close attention because the attributes that I'm going to share in this episode are really going to be helpful for you. My first role as a leader and as a communicator was as a student crossing guard when I was about 8 years old. And just imagine an 8-year-old boy wearing what was an orange like a type seatbelt type of belt that's strapped around your shoulder and your waist. And I was the crossing guard. I was basically the guard of the class. And I don't really remember the name of it, honestly, but basically I was in charge of my class. But I must admit, and I'm not proud to say this, but it was short-lived. It was short-lived because I said something that the teacher didn't like, and I was immediately stripped from that position. And what got me that position also got me stripped from that position. And it was me, my own actions. And as I have gotten older, the lesson still rings true. What we do as leaders matter. And what we do as leaders will have a ripple effect to not only to the people around us, but to the next generation. The word that comes to my mind every Father's Day is one of my favorite words, leadership. When you decide to be a father, you decide to lead. See, last month I shared with you on this show that it's not enough just to stand for something. It's also equally important to know what you're standing on and to know basically what your core values are. And I talked about the 5 things that reveal what you value most. If you haven't listened to it already, go ahead, listen to last month's episode, season 2, episode 7, as that episode will also build on this episode, okay? So in this episode, I want to give you the 8 attributes that we should strive for as fathers and as leaders. Okay, so in this episode, this is for fathers or people who want to be fathers, or men who want to be fathers. But it is also for you, even if you aren't a father, because these attributes, again, can be applied in our culture now more than ever. As a matter of fact, I want you to write this down or come back to this. that whatever type of man you want to be tomorrow, you have to build that man today. I'm going to say that again, that whatever type of man you want to be tomorrow, you have to build that man today. When I was in one of my law enforcement academies, I had a PT instructor, physical trainer and instructor, and he would often tell our class, you hydrate for tomorrow today. You hydrate for tomorrow today. He would constantly repeat that. He pushed that on us because we were in the desert of New Mexico. And obviously getting dehydrated there will be a bad thing. So that principle, though, applies to every aspect of our lives, and it applies to every aspect of your life as well. The way you prepare for marriage is while you're single. The way you prepare for retirement is while you're working. The best time to find a new job is when you have one. But the great news is this, is that even if you are in the middle of fathering, of being a father today, you can still apply these attributes and actions to your life. Now, I'm striving to practice these attributes and have them be a part of who I am as a man, and I hope that you would pick them up as well. This is not an exhaustive list, but simply a list to help us get started, okay? But before I share with you these attributes, let me ask you a question. Have you reached a place in your life today where you have had enough, right? You had enough financially. You don't need any more money. You're not trying to make any more money. You had enough emotionally, right? Spiritually, you're full. You don't need anything else. Or relationally, you don't need to improve relationally. Or in your health, you're fit as you want to be. Or in your career, you might reach your career and you're comfortable where you are. Or do you want more? Do you want more? Do you feel stuck in any of these areas? Emotionally, financially, spiritually, relationally, or in your health or career? And if the answer is yes to any of these questions, then I want to remind you that on September 27th, my new book comes out, guys, and I'm super excited. The Lead Through Method, the proven steps to getting unstuck, leading your life, and getting results. Now, if you're interested in the book, and you're interested in receiving a copy or interested in knowing and just being reminded of when the book comes out, I want you to email me, okay? Jose@reachinghighernow.com. Jose@reachinghighernow.com. And I'll make sure to let you know when it's getting close, okay? So let's get to what a father is. Okay, let's get to the 8 principles or the 8 attributes that I'm striving to apply to my life. And this is what the man that I want to be. And I hope that you would pick these up as well. So a father number 1, takes responsibility. Let us not seek, and I want to preface it with this. John F. Kennedy said this. President John F. Kennedy said this. He says, let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer. Let us not seek to fix the blame for the past. Let us accept our own responsibility for the future. See, casting blame on what happened or didn't happen in your life will not fix your today. You know that. Casting blame, blaming other people who wasn't there, none of those things is going to fix your today. And the reality is today is all you and me have. And I'm sure that if we sit down together and grab a bite to eat and begin to talk, you probably will share with me some of the hard times or events or situations in your life that you have had to deal with or go through. And the reality is that life happens to us all. We have ups, we have downs, but it's up to you to take responsibility for your actions today. You can't help what other people have done. You can't help what other people will do, but you take responsibility for your own actions today. So a father takes responsibility and understands that whatever happens, he is responsible for his children, regardless of the circumstances. Regardless of the circumstances. So I want to be that type of father who takes responsibility. And so I invite you to take responsibility. Number 2, a father owns their decisions. A father owns their decisions. And there's so much to say about this, guys, but I wanted to jot it down and kind of bring it down to just a few sentences here. But there's a quote that says, if you hang out with chickens, you're going to cluck. And if you hang out with eagles, you're going to fly. A father owns their decisions. You are where you are in life, in part because of the decisions you have made. And I don't mean to sound harsh, but the reality is, if you don't like where you are, well, then you need to change your decisions. Listen, if you made a mistake or were simply flat out wrong, I want you to own it, because we all make mistakes. We all can be wrong at times. But when we arrogantly dismiss those wrongs and never own up to them, it's immature and it's wrong. And if you exalt yourself, you will be humbled. Life will humble you the more you exalt yourself, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. So take the easy route. Own your decisions. Humble yourself. And part of humbling yourself is owning it, right? I made a mistake. I failed in this area. Learn from those decisions, though, and make better decisions so that you can have a better tomorrow. So a father is someone who owns their decisions. Number 3, a father is someone who provides for their family. A father fights to provide for his children. I'm going to say that again. He fights to provide for his children. He doesn't run from responsibility. See, providing for your children is not giving them everything they want or everything you didn't have. That's just insane. A father provides for his children a home, a clean, safe place for them to live, right? You provide food, you provide clothes, you provide an education, and everything that child needs to survive and thrive. You provide love. You provide understanding. You provide a listening ear and an open mind. You provide discipline. You provide care. If you are a father and don't live with your kids, you can still provide for them. You can still fight for your child. You can still provide love and understanding and discipline. And look at them in the eyes when they're talking to you and really pay attention and let them know, I'm listening to you. I am present. See, fighting child support is not a virtue. It is your responsibility. So if you don't live with your children, if you're in that situation, I can only imagine how hard that is. But fight to provide for your children. Okay. Number 4, a father protects their family. I used to protect people for a living, but my greatest pleasure is protecting my daughter. It's a 24/7 job, both of my daughters. Protecting them, yes, physically, right? Willing to do whatever it takes to protect them physically, but mentally protecting them, emotionally protecting them, watching what comes into your home and into their eyes and little ears. Protecting their dreams, protecting their self-esteem, protecting who comes around them. Protecting all those different areas of their lives because they're being molded and they're being shaped by their environment. And a father protects. I'm not talking about not allowing them to be exposed to the real world. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about protection from the dangers of this world and from the dangers of life. So protect your family. Number 5, a father guides and leads their family. It is a father's role to guide his children, to emulate and illustrate what it looks like to be a decent human being. If you have a faith background like I do, it is your responsibility to guide them in that faith, to model for them what it's like to live life loving God and loving people, what it's like to live life serving others. You teach them how to handle money. You teach them how to treat people. You teach them how to speak to other people. You guide them on how to make better decisions and how to take responsibility. A father guides, a father leads their family. Number 6, a father shares a vision for their family and inspires while modeling with their own life. And this is huge because I see this all the time. You can't tell your kids that they can achieve their dreams if you are not constantly going after yours. Because the fact is that more is caught than it is taught. Your children are watching not just your words, but your actions. And the picture you paint of a better future will inspire them to think bigger. And guess where they're getting that picture from? From you, from your life. to be bolder, to reach higher than even you have reached as their father. So a father shares a vision for their family. This is where you could be. This is where we're going as a family. And then you inspire that vision by modeling with your own life. Number 7, a father is a value giver. I love this, right? A father is a values giver. What do I mean by that? Stop handing the responsibilities of instilling values, principles, to your children, to schools, to churches, to pastors, to religion, to tell your kids what values they should have. And then you get upset when they teach your kids something contrary to what you want them to believe. You can't get upset if you're not taking responsibility to instilling your values in them. Tell your children who they are before culture tells them who they should be. Tell your children who they are before culture tells them who they should be. And the way you do this is by modeling, living out your own values every single day, because your kids are watching you. You, as a father, are a values giver. Number 8, and this is the final one, a father leads their life. A father is a man who leads their life, a man who falls short but continues to get up again, a man who every time he comes short, he gets better. He apologizes and he grows each day towards greater results. A father is a leader, and that his children want to be like, and that his children want to follow. I want to finish this episode by saying, I want to be this father. Do you? Do you want these attributes? Do you want to live out your life with these principles? And I invite you to listen to this episode again and write these down, or look at the show notes. Friends, we can be that father. We can be that man who leads in a way worthy to be modeled after, to be followed. All right. Friends, again, it takes time and it takes work, but together we can become a leader worth following. You don't have to put up a front. You can take actionable, practical steps today to get breakthroughs in your life and lead your life towards greater results. Listen, pay this podcast forward by leaving me a review wherever you are listening to this show. I will read it, and it would mean the world to me. I'll see you soon. Happy Father's Day.